Yo, what's going on? It's Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, Tbkc, all that other good shh. Check it out. I'm trying to stay cool, so I'm messing with this thing at the same time. But check it out. This video is more so about understanding the difference between a heat stroke, your dog getting too hot, and your dog pretty much having a bad cardiovascular system, or sometimes your dog having just an overall bad health. And that's not funny, but whatever. Excuse me, let me tell you this. In the bully world, you do have a lot of dogs that will overheat. That is well known. We don't deny that. And a lot of it comes from the shorter muzzles and the issues of the shorter bodies, more compact bodies. When you get the more compact bodies, a lot of times it also compresses the lungs. It compresses, you know, a smaller compartment for the heart, a smaller compartment for all of the organs. So that can cause issues with the cardiovascular system. Next up, you have the muzzle, and the muzzle is really should be first, but a shorter muzzle doesn't have the same ability to cool air as it goes into the lung as a longer muzzle dog has. And now we're having dogs that basically have no muzzle, and so therefore we're having a lot of issues with that. Now, what I have noticed over the years is that a lot of people call it overheating. I'm about to overheat if I don't turn this air up. But some of these dogs actually have panic attacks. Some of these dogs I've seen, you know, start to hyperventilate, almost like asthma attacks. And it has nothing to do with the temperature. You know, I've told you on video several times that even in Ohio, I've seen dogs fall out in 40, 50 degree temperatures. I've seen dogs that, you know, fall out inside of buildings and literally die. So that had nothing to do with the heat. We are creating somewhat of an unstable animal. Not somewhat, a very unstable animal. So the issues that come along with the instabilities of these animals are different, sometimes mental issues that go along with the health issues, and it becomes a problem. You see a lot of these dogs that are overly shy. You know, you see a lot of these dogs that get worked up at the very first sign of anything, and they're breathing hard and they're panting hard and their eyes are starting to bug out. And it's not a temperature thing, it's just the dog is getting overworked at this time, and it doesn't have the ability to cool itself down. If anyone who has ever dealt with asthma, you know that, you know, once the situation gets going, it can be a deadly situation. And anyone who's had panic attacks or hyperventilates or any of these things, these situations, the dogs do have these same situations. And as we continue to be bad about how we breed the dogs, we're breeding a lot of these things into it. I know it's been a blanketed term throughout the years that we say the dogs are overheating. A lot of these times, these dogs are not overheating. Some of it's psychological. A lot of it has to do with the physical of the dog's inability to have clear air passages. We have a lot of soft palate issues, which originally was an issue we saw a lot with the English Bulldog, and now it's over there, and that's where you get that sound. Well, that's a lot of skin in areas that it's not supposed to be in, so the airways are not properly opened up. Upon some ecropsies, we're finding out that some of these dogs' air passages are just very narrow. And when you consider that these dogs are very well muscular dogs and they carry a lot of girth and muscle, and they should be showing signs of a lot of energy, to have a narrow air passage is just horrible, because you need as much air and oxygen coming in there as possible to keep up with, you know, to keep up with everything that this dog encompasses as far as size and energy that it'll use. But you know, we should do some studying, and we should really start paying attention, because as I've said, you know, I hate to always hear the term, he had a heat stroke, he had a heat stroke. A heat stroke, you know, it's real, but a heat stroke most times involves heat. And we're seeing people go through special precautions to keep their dogs cool, and their dogs are still dying, and we know for a fact that's not a heat stroke. If the heat wasn't involved at all and it was nice and cool and the dog still fell over and died, that is something far more than a heat stroke, and something that needs to be looked at, because these genetics are being passed on from generation to generation. And in a society where we breed like rabbits with these dogs now, everything has to be bred. It's going to contaminate the bloodlines you know, going forward for a long time. And if we are not careful, it could become a super problem, which I think we're very much on the borderline of that now. If you ask him what the answer is, if dogs exhibit these traits, you just can't breed them. I told y'all stories where I bought dogs from people where I was excited about getting a chance to breed the bitch to some of my males and maybe make something nice. And I get the bitch here and the bitch just can't breathe, you know. Go for a basic walk and it's just, you know, like she wants to pass out. Take her for a walk at night, she wants to pass out. I've had this happen actually now multiple times. And I did the right thing at those times. I just went on ahead and took the massive loss of financial means and I put the dog down. Not put the dog down in terms of its life, but I put the dog down as far as terms of being able to be bred. They end up being pets for someone else, and you know, basically big coddled couch potatoes because you can't do anything with them, can't even take them to the park. But once I found somebody to take them, they took them. I didn't never even call the other guys to send me the paperwork. I was like, you know, it is what it is, man. But let's keep on doing some studying. Let's keep on making our breed better, man. I thank y'all for all y'all love and support. I'll be on here live tomorrow and we can get a chat, you know, a good group chat. I'll answer as many questions as I can. And as always, man, I thank y'all for your patience with me, and I thank y'all for supporting me throughout everything. And Tbkc is coming strong. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.